Process of elimination. Thank you.
Huh?
Ophthalmoscopy.
Looks like grading.
Push your red thing down and spin it.
I'm Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan.
Oh, hello.
Good morning. Today is our second day of the neurology clerkship. Yesterday, we had a general orientation, an overview of what to expect, a review of the neurologic exam and musculoskeletal exam from 9 to 12, and then at 1 p.m., we had our lumbar puncture session. So basically, we practiced doing lumbar punctures on mannequins. I'll be starting on my outpatient service, and what that means is instead of going into the hospital doing rounds, I'll be in an outpatient setting with 1 or 2 doctors each day for the rest of this week. So I'm gonna head out to the outpatient clinic right now, and I think it'll be a good day. I'm really excited to see patients and be part of the team. Guys, look at my plants too. Except don't look at this part. This one kind of dried out a little. Actually, you can look at that part too. Some questions my team had regarding attire for clinical year is like, can we wear scrubs? Do we wear business casual? Do we wear white coats? I think you can't go wrong with wearing business casual on the first day with your white coat and then see what the vibes of the team are. You can either then continue wearing business casual and your white coat, or if your team wears scrubs usually, then you can probably be safe with wearing scrubs. And then you can always ask if your team prefers if you wear your white coat or not. Be on the safe side for the first day and then feel it out for the rest. It's 3:44 right now. We just had our last clinic visit of the day. In the morning, I was in general neurology clinic, and then in the afternoon, I was in the EMG lab. So basically, that is where they do the testing for nerve studies. And we saw a couple of patients, and I saw them, do the sensory test and then the motor test. And it was really cool because when they stuck it was kind of like an acupuncture needle inside the muscle, you could hear the nerves firing kind of like a radio. It sounded like you were tuning a radio, which I thought was super cool. The first patient that I saw had CIDP, or chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy, and it is a more, as the name suggests, chronic form of demyelination as opposed to acute. The treatment for this, we were discussing it, is IVIG, which is intravenous immunoglobulin. For the chronic type of disease, you can use high-dose steroids, but for the acute, such as Guillain-Barré, don't use steroids because it hasn't been shown to work, but you can still use IVIG. So that was just something that I learned, or that I kind of solidified, because I've seen these in like practice questions and just through like Anki, but it's my first time meeting a patient with this condition, and I'm very grateful to have been part of his care, and I hope that he gets the treatment that he needs and does very well. And then the second patient was someone who came in for assessment of fasciculations. Fasciculations are just kind of like little muscle, I guess you could call them like spasms, or like spasms, but his was totally benign, just sometimes happens. Like I sometimes feel spasms in like my leg muscles or my arm muscles, But people do get that checked out in the EMG suite just in case it's suggestive of another non-benign condition. So yeah, learned a lot today, and at 4 o'clock I have my preceptor session on Zoom, so I'll be taking that here. And I had 2 attendings that I worked with today. Both of them were so great. One of them is actually the clerkship director, and she was so happy to answer my questions, which I really appreciated. I didn't want to take away her time from, doing her patient care stuff, but very encouraging of me to ask questions, which I think is a trait that all educators should have. Hopefully one day, as a future doctor, resident, attending, I will be able to have my students feel the same way and being comfortable in asking questions and me knowing the answers to those questions, or we'll find the answers together. So yeah. Hey guys, so I just got back from my outpatient child neurology clinic on the Upper West Side. Just took the subway back, and I'm a little early for my actually it's not pediatric neurology, it's kind of like a general neurology preceptor session. And today we're going to talk about stroke and also spinal cord localization, so where the motor tracks are, where the pain and temperature tracks are, and where the vibration, proprioception, and light touch tracks are. So studied those a little bit in preparation. So right now I'm on the pediatric neurology floor in one of the buildings on the medical campus. Today's clinic went really well. I was with Dr. Selman. He's amazing, and he's very, very kind, not only to me as a medical student, but to all of his patients. And I think one thing that I was very inspired by is not only is he, caring for the children's medical issues and concerns, but he also cares about their school and their career paths, if there's anything they're interested in. And one thing that he did was he heard that one of his patients was interested in becoming a genetic counselor. She's a high schooler. And so he's like, oh, there's a genetic counselor that we work with. Why don't I connect you with her, and you can have a chat with her and then maybe shadow her. And I thought that was just so wonderful. As a physician, you're not only caring for the patient in that moment in time, but it's a continuous and longitudinal type of care. And it's not just care related to, health, but it's care related to all the different aspects of life. So that was really great, and something that I will emulate and hope to carry in my future career too, is just to help the generations that come. Maybe do some review before my preceptor comes, and see you guys later. We're at our didactic session.
Let's get started.
Let's go straight in.
Oh, okay. What do you think, Ashley?
And like, it was so sad.
Okay, I'll go also. Hey y'all, it's a Saturday. We are off on the weekends for neurology, except for one weekend shift. And today I thought I'd get a little bit of a change of scenery, which is why I'm waiting for the shuttle to take me down to the undergraduate campus. And it's a really, really nice day today. So sunny. It's been a little bit like dreary and rainy the past week, which has kind of, just made the mood a little bit less happy, but today seems like a really, really beautiful day. guys, it's now 9 o'clock on a Monday morning, and I am laying on the floor in my room because I just got back from my first night shift on Neurology. Oh my gosh, you could see my dark circles. I look like a panda. You have this option, and it's completely voluntary. Like, you don't have to do it, but you have this option to do a week of nights, meaning that you go in at 7 p.m., then you stay at most until the next day, 9 a.m. If there are admissions from different services or from the ED, then it's our job at night to get a sense of what's going on, and then synthesize that and then present it to the morning team. So the next day at like 7 or 8 a.m. There was a new patient admit, and unlike other sort of nighttime admissions to the ED, my patient was actually in the hospital for around a month, and so he also had a significant history prior to that, and so I was trying to learn everything that I could about him so that I could present him thoroughly. I will admit, I was a bit stressed because it seems like a lot of information, even though you get like 12 hours, or I guess like 10 hours to prep the note and the presentation. It actually took me the whole night to like work on my note and understand a little bit better what happened. It was a little stressful at the time, but right now I'm feeling really good. And I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to present. And my resident was so great. She like gave me so much feedback and like really helped me tailor my presentation. My goal for the next one is to be more targeted. Even if there is a long history, just have that history in my mind and in my note, but then say the most pressing, like the chief complaint, the chief concern. And then if they have questions, they'll ask me. But yeah, anyway, I'm kind of like, am I delirious? I have a little bit of altered mental status. I'm more awake now than I was last night at 7 p.m. and it's 9 a.m. now. I know that I have to go to sleep or else I will not have energy tomorrow night. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. And this was voluntary anyway, so. I actually signed up for a weekend call because we all have to do one weekend call during these 4 weeks. And so I decided, since I'm already gonna be doing nights per week, why not just do Friday night for my weeknight/weekend call. I just went to go see my patient, and now I'm working on the note, and I'm going to be essentially checking the labs, checking and the imaging that we have. And today I'm going to be learning some more about headaches, migraines, and seizures.
Okay.
This is fudge chocolate, this is dark chocolate, even though they're reverse colors. Pistachio, that's probably
Hazelnut?
Hazelnut, yeah.
Or tiramisu.
Berry, this
Lime.
is lime, basil, and this is tiramisu.
Tiramisu.
Hey guys, good morning. Today is the first day of MMP week, and MMP week is basically a week in between certain rotations where we have, instead of going to clinic and studying, we have lectures or like small groups. And so today's our first day of that. I think a lot of people treat this week as a much needed sort of relaxation week, because we don't have any like clinical duties or basically any true responsibilities besides showing up for the sessions. People are like much less stressed about the whole thing, which is amazing. So I'm pretty excited for this week. The first thing of the day today is breakfast at 8:15, and then we have our Foundations of Clinical Medicine group from 9 to 11. On Wednesday, there's Student Research Day, so I'll be presenting there. And then Thursday and Friday, I think I'm gonna be going home. It's so funny because Sunday night, I'm gonna be packing for my Monday morning trip to Stamford, Connecticut, because I'm gonna be at Stamford for a whole month for my OB-GYN rotation, which will definitely be a change of pace. I've heard that Stamford is much more, small town vibes. I think our housing is near the hospital, which is really nice. We don't need to drive. I've heard that people kind of spend Monday through Friday there and then come back to the city on the weekends and then go back on Monday and come back on Friday night. I feel like, for OB-GYN, there's probably a lot of studying that needs to be done, so I just might stay at Stamford over the weekend and hang out with my group who's over there. I'm not going alone. So thankfully there's other people there, so it'll be nice to have buddies in a new space. And yeah, I think I'll tell you guys more about that once I know a little bit more about that, because I actually don't know my schedule yet. Very exciting stuff. All right, I'll see you guys at the breakfast.